All right. Wow. Do you know where the gate to higher consciousness is going out of today?
Right here.
Right here?
Yes.
Gate
Oh,
Unity.
oh. Do you know where the flight to higher consciousness is going out of? They rerouted me, you guys. You know, isn't that like the airlines? It's delayed. Oh, I get it. So do you all know what flight, this flight to higher consciousness, what gate it's going out of? Do you all know? Do you know? Maybe? Huh? You have any idea? Oh my. Well, I'm just gonna, it looks like it's going out of this gate. You know, they never tell us, and we always have to guess. That's why your flight attendant is always late. Wow. Oh my, I'm telling you. Wow. Well, good morning. Good morning. My name is Marcia. Thank you. And I am a recovering spiritual being moving through this human experience on the flight to higher consciousness. And to kind of back away from my identity as a flight attendant for Delta Airlines for 30 years, you know, I am reinventing my life right now. How many of you are reinventing your life, you know? Yeah, a lot of us are, you know, and kind of repurposing who I am and figuring out who I am right now, because I know who I've been. And so right now, I'm in a process of looking at where I have been and who I've been, so that I can truly open up to who I am now. You know, thank you, Pat, for the introduction. I have been a flight attendant. I was a flight attendant for 30 years, and we never had music on the airplane like Elliot and the band. I mean, ever. Yes. Bless you. Wow, if we had that kind of music on the flight, I think many more people would get on it and stay on it. But I began my career with Delta in 1969, and I ended my career, or retired from Delta, in 1999, and it coincided with my ordination as a Unity minister in 1999. And for most of my career as a Delta flight attendant, I held the position of FAIC, Flight Attendant in Charge. And I have to say, working on the aircraft, the different planes that I worked on with Delta, starting with the Convair 440. Do you all go back that far? You know, it was a prop plane, and I was the only flight attendant on the plane. And that was really scary to go off on my first flight, you know, and be the only one. You know, I really had to make it up, you know. But then the different aircraft that I've served on, the DC-9, the DC-8, the DC-10, the 11, 747, 737, the 727, 757, at 45,000 feet with 350 passengers was great training to be a Unity minister. Yeah, you get it, you know? And for over 50 years, I've been in one form of service or another. And on Delta, I love to fly, as Pat said, and it showed. That used to be our, you know, our ad. We loved to fly, and it showed. And with Unity, I have loved serving Unity. To teach and to minister and to counsel, and it shows. I love Unity. And that has been my affirmation from the very beginning of my ministry. But Delta was a great company to work for, you all. It gave me so many opportunities that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I got to travel all over the world and meet great people and work with incredible people. And As flight attendant in charge, I was trained to manage an entire cabin crew, sometimes as many as 14 flight attendants on a 747 or an L-1011. And we didn't always get along, you know? It was very interesting. And flight attendant's duty, you probably all know, but they include the FAA regulations. We had to know how to evacuate an airplane, and I could do that right now. I could get you out of this airplane in 60 seconds. You know, first aid, I had to learn first aid, CPR, and the Heimlich maneuver, the psychology of handling all types of personalities and all kinds of people. I was a counselor, I was a chaplain, I was a waitress, I was a teacher, I was a cook, and I was a janitor. You know, I don't know how many toilets I cleaned, and how many barf bags I picked up, and how many peanut bags I gave out, you know, and how many passengers' hands that I held when they were scared, or they were going to a funeral, or we were even carrying their loved one in the baggage claim, in the baggage compartment, you know. And I sat on the jump seat, I don't know how many times, shared practical, positive spirituality with my flight attendants, the flight attendants that I flew with, when it was appropriate. I never shoved unity down anybody's throat, you know, like some of our more fundamentalist folks will do. And on more than one occasion, you guys, I shared my own recovery process with the fellow flight attendant that was going through some challenge with alcohol or drugs. 42 years of sobriety for me this year. Thank you. You don't have to applaud. But I'm very grateful for my career with Delta. I'm really grateful, and it provided me with some great tools and skills that I still continue to use in my life today. The gifts that I gleaned from being a Delta flight attendant were serving with compassion, serving with integrity, serving with hospitality, and the ability to embrace all people, all cultures, all nationalities, all different kinds of people, all ages. And I remember that last year when I was flying, the last year that I flew, 1999, I had made a decision. I took an early retirement. I made a decision that last year was going to be the best year. And I remember really having the intense, exquisite experience for myself as well as those that I served. And the last 4 years of my career with Delta, I was part-time with Delta and part-time in my church as I was going through my own ministerial studies. And I remember really making a clear intention to savor every flight that last year. To savor and be grateful for every flight attendant I flew with, every pilot, every agent, every ground personnel, every mechanic, every city that I flew into, every agent that I worked with, every passenger that I served. And that last year was the best year of my career. And it could have been, even to this day, one of the best years of my life, because I lived in Thanksgiving every single day. Do you know what that feels like? What does that feel like to you, to live in that place of Thanksgiving? Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, so with all that being said, I'm fully qualified to welcome you on board this flight today to higher consciousness. I am fully qualified to be your flight attendant in charge. Today, as we go through the 4 stages of conscious spiritual evolution, we're going to look at 4 stages, 4 steps along the way. Stage, the manifestor, the channel, the being. All stages that we move through on our journey as spiritual beings moving through this human experience. So welcome on board, you guys. Yay, to Unity's airways, flight to higher consciousness, and wherever, you all know this, but it's like preaching to the choir, you know? But wherever two or more are gathered in the name of the living spirit of oneness, unity, peace, love, joy, a powerful energy is created, you guys. Thank you for coming. And that we are creating this amazing time so that we can all take off together. You know, take off together into the awareness of our divine unity. So you received a boarding pass. Did you all get that? You all need to get it out right now because they're going to be checking it, you know, to make sure you're in the right seat. And I believe that seat was 2B, isn't it? 2B, yeah? In the first class cabin of your life. Do you know that you're sitting in the first class cabin of your life right now, you all? Yeah. So I think that was the first slide. Did you get that? Did you get that? Yeah. So your flight attendants, it's another one, Duncan. Your flight attendants will be serving wonderful affirmations to you this morning. Do you notice those were the uniforms that I graduated in, you guys? That's how long ago 1969 was. But so we want to make sure, again, the next slide, Duncan, is that you make sure your seatbelts are securely fastened. Your seatbelt. You know, you're not supposed to take anything off the airplane when you retire, but I think a lot of these made it out the airplane with the flight attendants. But make sure that you have your seatbelt securely fastened. And because, hold on, you guys, because this will be, I guarantee, the ride of your life. So please be aware of your emergency exit right there where you are. Do you know you have an emergency exit built in? Yes. It's relax, release, let go, and let God. And always remember, if there is a lack of any kind, anytime, anywhere, that you will be provided with all that you need. Simply place the mask on yourself first. Place the mask on yourself first. And breathe deeply of the awareness of the source of all life right there where you are. God the good. The kingdom of good is right there where you are. And when we realize that, you all, when we are aligned with that, all things will be added. No lack of any kind. Your seat backs and your tray tables need to be in their upright, aware, and awake position right now. And we hope you enjoy your flight with us today and every day on this great adventure we call unity, a positive path for spiritual living. Now, there are going to be some stops today. I know you thought this was a nonstop. But you guys, it's not. It's not, you know. There are going to be 4 stops on our flight today to higher consciousness. And the first stage that we're going to look at is the to me stage. Some have named this the victim stage, you know, and we all begin our journey here, believe it or not. You know, we all begin here. Some of us move out of this stage pretty quickly. We know some of those. And some of us stay here our whole lives. And this is a stage that we may say things like, why did they do that to me? Why is he always saying that to me? Do you know anybody like that? Anybody, you know? At this stage of consciousness, it's not about being victimized by the situation. It's about being victimized by our own thoughts about the situation. It's about unexamined beliefs that we have had from the beginning. And there is a lot of unclaimed baggage there. Just want to say that, you know. We may be easily manipulated here. We might be influenced by other people who seem to have a hold on us. Our mom, our dad, our husband, our wife, authority figures, a preacher, oh my God, you know? In this stage, we might be greatly influenced by the collective beliefs of humanity. You know, what you took on as a belief early in your life, do you have any of those still? You know, any of those unexamined thoughts? You took on, or we took on beliefs early in life because we were told that that was the truth. But we never examined that. We didn't think we had to. So interesting. You know, Socrates said that the unexamined life is not worth living. And if we continue to live with all of that unclaimed baggage and those unexamined beliefs that keeping us imprisoned and in bondage to something lower than where we really want to live, in that upper level of consciousness. You know, we might beseech an external deity here, believe that there is a God that's like an old man sitting on a cloud watching what we do, you know. We might hold a belief that there's a Santa Claus God, you know, that doles out favors to the good ones and withholds it from the others, and judges our mistakes and punishes us if we're bad. There's blame and shame in this stage, and to move beyond this stage, we've got to cultivate the F word. Yeah, forgiveness. Yeah. We forgive not to set somebody else free. It's for us to set ourselves free. Forgiveness is for us. Forgiveness is self-forgiveness. If we really truly believe what we teach in unity, that we are one, that there is only one of us here, all forgiveness is self-forgiveness. Now, I am preaching to the choir here. You know, forgiveness is about setting ourselves free. And the key to evolving out of this stage, this victim stage, this to-me stage of consciousness, and enter to the next stage of conscious evolution, we got to practice forgiveness. For giving up the beliefs that we have not examined and that we have held as truth. Can I get an amen? Yeah. So when we enter, then we enter the by me stage, when we do enough forgiveness work. And we have to continue to do that through all stages of consciousness. But when we enter the by me stage, which is the manifester stage, this is when we begin to understand that our thoughts have a direct relationship with what's going on in our lives. This is the place where we become aware. When we start really waking up, we discover the universal laws of attraction, of mind action, and we get it, you guys. We really get it. You know, one of our unity principles is thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. So we get it here. We start really waking up, that life doesn't, as a direct result of our thoughts held by moi. So at this stage, we give up blame and shame, and we begin to take up the R word, which is responsibility. And at this stage, we look at what we've created. This is like doing your inventory. You know, you really begin to look at what we've created, and that we could create more, whether it's positive or negative. But we have that power within us. And the funny thing is, to evolve to the next stage, we have to give up that personal control and turn it over. And keep turning it over. And put that control in something greater than ourselves. And I don't know if there are any other 12-step people here in this room, but that's one of the first things we do in the 12 steps, to turn our will and our life over to something greater than ourselves. So we begin to cultivate the S word, which is surrender. Like the caterpillar. I love the image of the caterpillar surrenders to the different stages of transformation. We have to let go of the little me, the ego little me, to make room for the greater me and step out of the cocoon that we have been in, that cocoon of forgetting that we are made in the image and likeness of amazing, amazing love, amazing peace, amazing joy. And then this moves us, you all, into the next stage where we become a vehicle, a channel, an instrument, an opening through which life has its way through us. This is the through me stage, and it's been called living in the zone. You know what that feels like if you're an athlete? Where you live in the zone. Wow, that's the best feeling. It's a spiritual zone when you're really in the flow. You know, you've experienced moments in your life like that, beyond words and thoughts, when you knew that something else took over. And it's being surprised by spirit in those moments of awakening when we're open and receptive and willing and ready. At this place, listening, meditation becomes our practice. At this stage, we are focused on not what we can get from the manifestor stage, creating our own reality, but what we can give, what we've been created to give. This is where the mantra for this stage of consciousness is, here I am, Lord. It is I, Lord. Our chaplains know that song very well. And to share our gifts and become a channel for good in our world, in our families, in our communities. Use me, oh God. I'm here for you, and abide as you show me all that I can be. It's a song by Ricky Byers. I don't know if you all sing that song here. Beautiful song. And now we enter into the fourth stage, the as me stage of consciousness, the being stage of consciousness. And we allow our personal sense of separation to dissolve so that nothing blocks the awareness and the full realization of our oneness with the infinite, with the creator of the universe, the creator of every atom and cell of our being. What an amazing miracle each one of us is, And this is when we're not in the zone any longer. We are the zone. I and the Father are one, A Course in Miracles says. When you see me, you see the one who sent me. Beautifully written. And you know how the Buddha expressed it was simply, amazing grace. This is amazing grace, you all. Living grace. Enlightened grace. Awakened grace. This is bliss. Beyond words and thoughts. We deepen our listening here, our meditation. And it becomes the first thing we do and the last thing we do every day. And all throughout the day, we continue just to listen, putting that infinite, beautiful God source energy first in our lives. This is the place of constant devotion to our unity with all. This is the place of namaste. Every day, namaste. And this is the place to be. And you took your seat there this morning in the first-class cabin of your life. And we're all here to remember and rediscover our true selves as spiritual beings having this human experience. And all these stages of consciousness are important. They are sacred, each one. And at any moment can be in any of those stages. Victim, manifester, channel, being. Where are you today? Where are you? Life is consciousness. Our journey, our practice is to simply stay awake in each moment, to always be willing to surrender with the intention of waking up to the next level or the next stage, staying awake. The light, the love, the peace, the joy that we sang about this morning, the peace of God, the joy, the love made real through each one of us. That's our job. So I want to share with you a poem by Rumi. As we begin to think about where we are on this journey, the to me stage, the by me stage, the through me stage, or the as me stage. Where are you? Who are you? Out beyond the idea of right and wrongdoing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. When the soul lies down in that grass, the world is too full to talk about. Will you lie down in that grass with me right now? Would you take a moment just to listen? Open to be receptive to what the Spirit is calling you to be up higher, and embracing yourself when you move back down those stages. That there is this infinite love that is always here to embrace each one of us. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes right now. We can turn the lights down, yeah. And I really want you to do a little soul searching this morning. About what level of consciousness do you hang out in more? And be willing to be honest and real with yourself and embrace yourself at whatever stage or level or space that you're at with yourself right now and with each other.